You don't actually need more information to scale up your business. You need this. It is called Convicted Energetics of All In on the one strategy that is actually going to scale your business so that you can do more of what you love. I am sharing this with you as someone who has made over $100K on repeat, and just last year was hitting those numbers. But honestly, my calendar was stacked. I was doing a lot of different strategies. And last July, I said, we go all in. And now making 40 to 60K months, running my business on a few days a week of work. And I've never felt more passionate and more in love with what I do. And I'm going to explain and share with you exactly how you can do it. There is this illusion in the online world that if you know more, you are more valued. And let me tell you, you are only as valued as in depth, embodied, that you are in what you do and in the way you bring clients into your world. So this was the massive unlock that is actually going to help you to scale up your business, is to discern the difference between there's how we bring in clients and there's what you're known for. You want to have depth in both of these, and you want to see them as separate, because I know you're freaking incredible at what you do. I know you're good at what you do, but I also know you question it. I also know you dabble. I also know you go in and out of it. And this is where we need to discern our embodiment in our body of work and our embodiment and all in and depth and trust in our strategy marketing of how people come into our world and how they stay in our world. And they're two different skill sets and they're two different layers. So where we are right now in the world of marketing and AI and everything is people want depth. They want to know you and they want to feel you. They want to know that you are not just regurgitating information, and they want to know that you're an embodiment of your work. What does that mean? Firstly, number one, the more you realize you are freaking incredible at what you do, the more you wake up to your life is the resume to your work. Your life experience is what makes you credible in what you do. And the more you lean into life experiences and life stories and what you do, that is what makes up your brand. That is what makes up your work. That is what makes people go and turn and look at you and go, wow. And the biggest breakthrough for me personally was the moment that I realized, yeah, I could say 300K launches. Yes, over 400K years. I hit a 67K month. I do it on repeat. I have income till 2027. But I really realized that's not my resume. That's not why I want anybody hiring me. I want you hiring me because I was literally raised by two coaches, right? My life experience is the most tripped out, different, preventative of pain life experience. I was literally raised in a household where we were basically formed to see the world always through what are we creating. Right now in my life, I'm going through the biggest life experience that any parent could ever imagine with my daughter in a very serious health situation. And immediately, I saw it as an opportunity. Immediately, I saw it as, how am I going to rise more than ever before? How am I going to bring through my passion, my purpose than ever before? Because I was raised in a culture where that was just the baseline. And so what you don't realize is what makes you an embodiment in your work is you being embodied and you actually recognizing and look back at your life experience. Look back at all the choices you've made and what has made you the person you are today because of those choices. Because yes, client results matter. Yes, numbers matter. But why people hire you, why people stay is because of who you have been through your life. And that is your biggest resume. That is what your content you want to be about, is sharing those stories, sharing those moments, and letting people into the person that you actually are. And the more you do that in sharing and content, the more you will also start to really recognize who you are, because people really hire you more than anything because of you. Everybody does the same thing at the end of the day in this world, but it's you and your life experiences that they cannot ever replace. And so what I want you to do is literally look back at the last 10 years of your life. And I want you to draw a timeline and pinpoint out the pivotal moments, the pivotal decisions, and write out, what was that experience? How did it shape you into the niche or into the authority or into the clients you serve today? How did it shape you? And how could you relate it to them? And how could you bring that through in content? And how can you also just own you're freaking amazing and you don't need other people? You need to look back at your life and realize what you've walked through to actually guide you to this moment. And that is one thing. And then make content about it. Then the second thing I want you to do is every time you go out and you make content, or every time you sell, or every time you talk about your work, I want you to really ask yourself, are you really living in an embodiment of I'm a 10 out of 10? Absolutely incredible. I can have doubt, I can have fear, but I am a 10 out of 10 amazing. Because here's the thing I will invite you into. As someone who has been in rooms with people making $2 million a year, $5 million a year. The other week I talked to someone who was making $50 million a year. And the difference between them and you is literally choice, is them making a decision that they are amazing, that they are incredible. You don't earn being incredible. You don't earn your worth. You just are. And the more, and this was the household I was raised in, and why getting in environments where people around you actually see that in you is because you either are around environments where you recognize how incredible you are, or you wait for the world to acknowledge it. And then the world and the algorithm controls you. Because when I was talking to this person making 50 million a year, I looked at him and I go, honestly, like full transparency, nothing that special. Just a man who's convicted in what he thinks and knows. And I think a lot of times, especially as women, we feel like we have to earn it. We feel like we have to prove it. We feel like, okay, have I done enough to show it? Instead of like, just decide, I'm going to freaking own what I am here to bring through to the world. I'm just going to own what I do, and no one does it like me, because it doesn't exist. And what you don't realize is that's what makes your brand and your work so magnetic. Because I can tell you every strategy of how to bring clients in, how to sell effectively, how to run incredible programs for 98% client retention. That all works, guys. It does. And you need that. I'm a firm believer. You need to understand that. But also, you need to just freaking step into the level that you are and not wait for life to give you the authority. Take the authority. Take the moment to go, I'm choosing to be someone who just sees that I'm amazing. I'm choosing to be someone who sees that the work I do is valuable, and then share it publicly. I spent so many years in my business, and I will share, I joined a coaching certification in 2020, and I have never experienced more self-doubt and insecurity in my entire life in that coaching certification, because I thought that I was doing it wrong, because I wasn't taking my clients through these step-by-step processes and questions and all of these different things, because I had already been a coach for 6 years before I touched that. I was a coach when I was 21 years old because of how I've lived my life. And what it showed me is I'm giving all my power away to these coaching tools. Wait, why do people hire me? Why did people in the exact mastermind that I was in, and we both paid $25,000 for, why are they still in my program now? They joined my program. We were peers. They joined my program because I coached them through some tools? No, because I was a woman who freaking moves, because I'm someone who will absolutely go all in. I love the analogy of skydiving. I've been 3 times because that's what people are looking for. They want a leader worth following, and you gotta lead yourself. You gotta own yourself and your ownership of you, which is literally just as a decision. I could walk you through a somatic practice and human design, this astrology, but let me just tell you, all of it is just a freaking decision. Like, just decide, I'm gonna choose to see myself. It is that easy. I could seriously tell you, okay, parts work, let's go to your childhood moment, let's own that. I'm trained in all of that modality. But you know what I really realized? We could just bypass that. And how about you just decide today and wake up today that you are freaking amazing, and you are choosing and you are declaring in your life, I'm not living my life questioning who I am. I'm not living my life in giving my authority and power to other people around me. I am living my life in conviction of knowing I'm freaking incredible, and this is the work that I'm here to do and share. And who that's resonant with, great. Who that's not, let them go. That's the work. And then we apply that to business, because that is number 1. It's called an embodied leadership skill. This is where you are literally an embodiment of a leader that I want to follow. And who do I pay? Leaders. That is why, number 1, it changes your life and it changes everyone's life around you. And this is exactly how you sign more clients. And it's also how you freaking do the work that you love to do is exactly what I'm saying to you. Because it is obvious when someone's hiding in their videos and going, oh, I'm authority, or they're hiding their voice is a little whimpery, or they're questioning, you can hear it. Instead of own it, own who you are. Own what you're here to do. Own that no one does it. Like, what are you waiting for? Someone to say, here's the mic? Take the fucking mic. Seriously. Now, number 2, that's the energetics. That's what you need. That's the conviction. That's the energy. Number 2 is knowing what to focus on in your business and going all in on your strategy. Okay. Last year, July 2020, that was the year, went to Las Vegas with my mother, bless her heart, incredible woman, paid $35,000 for 2 days with Alex Hormozi. What did that do? It made me focus on what my strategy is. The biggest things that I do with my women inside of Wealthy Woman is we double down on their strategy. What is your way to getting clients in your world on repeat? There's thousands of ways if you haven't figured it out by now. Now, I'm all about, let's pick the strategy that you're actually going to be successful at this year, like 6 months this year. Because here's the thing, there are a lot of strategies. There's ads, there's funnels, there's live events, there's low ticket, there's networking, there's speaking. But it doesn't mean that you're going to see return on that right now. And this is the biggest thing that I see that people don't think about. Is you follow other people doing strategies, right? You follow other people doing things. But what you don't realize is that you need a system of how people are coming into your world, right? Whether that's a live event, some emails into a sales calls, whether that's your content into YouTube into sales calls, whether that's your content into DMs into sales calls, what if it's networking into a landing page, like it all works, you guys. And that's why I don't teach my clients just this way. I help my clients, and this is what's so important, is you want to be able to have a system that holds you. Because here's how you actually create a business you love, is you have predictability. You are not going, how do I generate more clients? How do I hit that 30K month next month? It's called create a system, know your data, and do it on repeat. I spend so much of my weeks now that I used to spend with clients worrying about things, now actually being creative, now just dialing in, now just doing more of what I love to do, which is helping women change their financial future and change their lives and change their ripple effect in the world, which changes our entire world. And it comes from because there's a clear system. And see, what often happens is you make decision on a strategy that you don't really understand. You've seen it done. You go, oh, that was a great launch event. Oh, maybe I should do a low ticket. But you don't understand at your stage, at your audience size, at your income number, what strategy actually makes sense. Let me explain. I had a client come to me. She's an incredible social media presence, absolutely killing it. And she wanted to launch her first group program. She, at the end of it, had 17 people in her first launch. We didn't have her do a live launch event. I didn't take her through my sustainable launching method. She didn't need it. Like, why would I put someone through a method that doesn't make sense for them? She had a hot audience. So what are we going to do? We're going to take that hot audience into the DMs, into a sales call. Boom. She got 17 people in. Now I had another client come to me who has a very small online audience. And what we do is we leverage her actually leaning into other audiences as the main mechanism for her actually getting clients. But see, here is the thing. You have to be honest and look at where you're at in the business and where you want to go. And then double down on your strategy of how clients come in and how they come in on repeat based off of where you can actually see results now. It can always grow and evolve with you. And when I really started implementing this in my business, everything changed. Not only my stress levels, but I just felt this feeling of life of I can do anything because I actually know what's needed in the business. And that is what I find is the greatest journey of all of this is when you have a business that is holding you, when you have a strategy that is holding you, you have the ability to just do the work you love to do. You have the ability to just love and bring your passion through and your voice through. And most of your time in your business should be doing what you love, not doing what you hate. But the only reason you don't know what to do is because you don't understand, you're not convicted enough, or you don't have a system for what it is that you actually need. And this is why one of the ways that you actually create a system is you have to understand where you are. You have to understand what way of bringing clients in makes sense for you and where you're going to shine, and then build it out from there. And that is why the first thing I would first do is get honest about where your audience size is at. And do you have enough to bring people in on your own? Or do you need to outsource to other different communities, which is what we do in a very strategic way? And this is where every business is unique. And it's not that you don't know things. It's that you need focus. And ironically, when you say no more to all the things you could be doing and you say yes to what you want to do, that is where the deepest fulfillment in your business actually comes from. This year, I've said no to low ticket things, to different ad strategies, to all sorts of different things, because there is this beautiful method. When you master the one, then you take on the next. When you master the one strategy, then we take on the next. You master the one, right? My business mastered one strategy this year. Now we're taking on the next strategy. But great businesses are built in strategic stacking and focus. And when you bring your embodied conviction of who you freaking are with the strategic focus, it's unbeatable. No one can replace what you do. And you have predictability and you get to do the work you love. And that is the whole point of what being a wealthy woman is about in my world. A wealthy woman is that you freaking love what you do. And so this is the work that we get to do together. This is the work that changes your life. And what are you freaking waiting for? Because your life here is precious and this is your time to dive in.